If you feel ESG, sustainability, CSR, and SDGs all sound like the same thing, let me tell you something very clearly. You are not confused. The ecosystem itself uses these words interchangeably, even though they mean very different things. Today, I am going to separate them cleanly and clearly, explain what each one actually does, how they connect, and most importantly, where careers actually sit. Once this clicks, ESG will stop feeling overwhelming. First is sustainability, the vision. Sustainability is the big picture vision. At its core, sustainability asks one simple but powerful question is, can we meet today's needs without damaging the ability of future generations to meet theirs? So, sustainability is not a report, it's not a regulation, it's not a job title. Sustainability is a direction, a way of thinking. It includes environmental protection, social well being, economic stability, cultural continuity, long term survival of systems. So, when governments talk about sustainability development or universities teach sustainability, they are talking about this philosophy and goal. That's why sustainability feels broad because it is broad. And this is important. Sustainability itself does not create most job roles. It creates the need for system like ESG. Next comes SDGs, the global goals. Now let's talk about SDGs. SDG stands for Sustainability Development Goals. These were created by the United Nations. There are 17 SDGs covering areas like no poverty, zero hunger, quality education, gender equality, clean water, climate action. SDGs answer one question: what does the world want to achieve by 2030? Think of SDGs as a goal, global to-do list. They are targets, not tools. They do not tell companies how to report. They do not tell organizations what to do, what data to disclose. SDGs guide policy direction, funding priorities, and development agendas. So, SDGs influence careers indirectly by shaping what governments, companies, and institutions focus on. Next comes CSR, the social response. CSR stands for Corporate Social Responsibility. CSR is how companies have traditionally tried to give back to society. CSR usually focus on community development, educational programs, health camps, environmental drives, philanthropic donations. CSR is often voluntary activity based, project oriented. CSR answers the questions: what good does the company do beyond its business operations? But here's the limitation: CSR often measures intent and effort, not long term risk, impact, or accountability. CSR is important, but it does not fully answer whether a company is sustainable, resilient, or responsible at its core. So that gap is where ESG comes in. Next is ESG, the measurement system. ESG stands for environmental, social, and governance. ESG is very different from sustainability, SDGs, or CSR. ESG is data driven, structured, measurable, reportable, increasingly regulated. ESG asks, how responsibly is this organization actually operating? Not in words, but in data. Environmental is the pillar which discuss about emissions, energy use, waste, water, climate risk. Whereas social as a pillar, employee safety, labor practices, diversity, community impact. And G, governance, the third pillar. It's a broad structure. It discusses about ethics, transparency, risk management. This is why careers mostly exist in ESG because ESG requires analysts, report writers, compliance professionals, auditors, sustainability and ESG specialists. ESG is where regulations, reporting and accountability live. Next is connecting the dots for careers. Now let's connect everything clearly. Sustainability is the vision. SDGs are the global goals. CSR is the social response. ESG is the measurement and accountability system. If you are looking for jobs, career growth, skill-based roles, ESG is where you need to focus. Sustainability and SDGs guide why we do it. CSR supports social contribution, but ESG is where professional demand exists. This video reduced your confusion even by 10%. That means clarity is building. If you want ESG explained clearly, practically, and confidently, subscribe to this channel. In the next video, we'll talk honestly about why many people fail in ESG roles even after